everyone. Years ago, a friend of mine made this interesting statement. He said, Peter, it is always easier to obtain than it is to maintain. And that is so true. It may be a car. It may be a house. It may be your wife getting married, having children. You get them, but whoa, now that you've got them, you have to maintain them. You look around in the world today, people think that when you get something, once you've got it, you've got it. No, everything has to be maintained. And now we look at relationships, and now we see that if we don't maintain a relationship, we can end up in serious trouble. That can be in a marriage. It can be between parents and children. It can be between people in the church, where you work. Relationships need to be maintained. So now we need to know how to do this God's way. Paul says in Ephesians chapter 4 verse 3 that we need to endeavor, to strive, to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. You see, to have good relationships is not talking about keeping everybody happy. That's impossible. It's not talking about walking on eggshells around people so that you don't offend them. Don't offend that person. Don't upset that person. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit. In other words, you and I need to have a conviction in our hearts of the plan of God for my life. I can't look at what God wants to do in your life, in that person's life. I need to look at what God wants to do in my life. And in my marriage, for example, God will lead me to do what God wants me to do. Maybe my wife will agree, maybe it will rock the boat, but I need to do that with love, with grace, and trust God that if this is God's leading, God will undertake and meet her every need. I need to stay in the right attitude of heart in each and every situation. That's not easy. That's why we need to maintain. So often we look after relationships and we get in the emotions and we don't want to offend, we don't want to upset, and we go round and round in circles. Paul encourages us to walk in forgiveness. He encourages us to walk in humility. He encourages us to have a heart where we're putting one another first. But more importantly, you and I must learn to know the plan, the purpose of God for our life. That when I walk in God's way, I'm walking in the spirit of what He has for me, and that in itself will bring the unity that God purposes. It's so important. God bless you.